Hi, today I'm going to show you how to clean a Game Boy Advance. Here is a Game Boy Advance. First, obviously, remove any game in there and batteries. I do not have my battery pack cover, which is really unfortunate. If you have one, that's awesome. So, things you're going to need to do this. You're going to want isopropyl alcohol, 99%. Tools, you need a tri-wing screw and a Phillips head screw. I have Q-tips for the alcohol to clean, and then a toothbrush. So let's get into this. First thing you're going to want is to get your tri-wing screw out. After that, just get your Phillips screw ready. You'll need that too. First things first, unscrew the whole Game Boy. So you have a screw here, 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 and then a Phillips right there. So let's do this. After you have all the screws loosened, just take the back off. Super easy thing. There we go. What you could do now is leave the screws in here, or you could put them into a location that you know. Make sure you know the order. This shell is the only one that has tri-wing screws onto it, and then that one Phillips right there. So I'm just going to set this side over here. Now here is our motherboard. So on the motherboard, you're going to notice a few things. There's a screw here and a screw here. You might have more screws. This Game Boy is a little old, and I think I'm missing one other screw. And if I'm correct, it is supposed to be right here. Now these are Phillips screws, so nothing to be worried about. Right here is the ribbon cable, so just undo that by taking off the lock, which is right here. I see I didn't get it all the way out. Nice, and that just comes right out. There, just that simple. Nice and easy. Now let's unscrew this. So if you're wondering the question of like, why would you even do this in the first place? Very simply put, this can get cleaned. Your sound, your power switch, your speaker, connections to the thing, because they can get all really dirty. And you don't really want that, because that will make the Game Boy's performance a lot worse. So again, put the screws somewhere where you know they are. Make sure you know which screws they are so you don't lose them. Okay, so from here, so when my shoulder buttons came out, we'll just remove all these things. Perfect. I'm going to leave the screen in. I'm not going to touch that. I don't really need to clean it. This is just scratched up. If you want to replace it, then all you'd have to do is to remove this. To remove the screen, you're going to kind of want to bend it, and then that'll get the adhesive out. Don't rip the adhesive, because you're going to want to use it again to put it back in. But I'm not going to show you how to do that. So I'm just going to put this aside. Now all of these, pretty simple. Just get water, soap, clean them up yourself, use a toothbrush, whatever thing you want to do. So put those aside. Now this. A toothbrush and Q-tip. So this is what we're going to want to do. We'll take our alcohol, just get a little bit. We'll take our Q-tip, we'll dip it. So for our power switch, we're just gonna put it, drops in there, flick it, drops in there, flick. Just let it go back and forth. That will clean out a lot of different things. If it's very dusty, you'll get to make it so that the dust isn't making it harder for it to turn on and off. And then we're gonna do the same thing for the sound. Dip it in there and rotate it It's going to make, it's almost like a joint when you make it so that you stretch and exercise your joints a lot easier to move. This kind of does the same thing. It's almost like exercising. Now, I don't really have something small enough to go inside the headphone jack. So really what I do, I just take the IC purple alcohol and just dip some in there and rub. No, we got a connector still. So now, on the other side, we have our speaker, A and B, D-pad, and start and select. So again, Q-tip, I'm using the other side now. I'm just gonna nicely scrub and wipe. This will clean off the board so that if there's any dust collecting up, anything in there, that would make it so that if there's even a bit of a gap, the gap is removed, and so your buttons should be able to be more snappy. You should be able to feel things working a lot better. I know these old consoles can have delays in them just because of all the dust that builds up in them. So you just want to clean them out and just make things a little bit better. Now your speakers, say it is filled with dust. All you got to do, again, just take a bit of alcohol in here and just rub. And then try and collect it all into one spot. And after that, try and get as much as you can out. It's going to be a little bit hard. These things are pretty delicate, so you don't really want to use your hand yourself. Of course, you could be a lot better than I am, so you could get it out all by yourself if you think you can do it. I personally don't have that confidence in myself, so I take a Q-tip, rub it all up. Now for the toothbrush, I'm going to use this here to clean this. So just get a bit of alcohol in here and then just scrub into there. Just makes things nice and clean. Back to the Q-tip. You can use a new one if you want. I'm just going to use the same one. Maybe you should use a new one. Maybe at the buttons, shoulder buttons. Just put them in there. Just dip that alcohol in there. And just push them down just to clear it out. That's pretty much it. Cleaning it is really simple. As long as you don't like do anything really hard to it, like scratch it or you're really rough, you shouldn't really mess the machine up at all. And now we're going to put it back together. All right, let's put this thing together again. So we'll take our front, get our buttons. You'll notice there are little tabs. That's just to help you to put them in the right spot so that you don't mess it up. I guess I shouldn't say you. This wasn't intended for the customer to do. My A was off to the side. Put that there. A goes in. D-pad. My... that stayed on with it. That's fine. I wasn't going to clean it anyway, so it's not a big deal for me. If you're going to clean it, you would want to remove that so that you can clean it more thoroughly. And this just goes on here. You'll see these little holes. That's just to help you see where to put it. That on. Good, good, good. And now I'll put this on here. So I will reconnect this. There we go. Once that's in, make sure to snap it down. Nice. Nice. And now let's get this in here. Make sure your speaker down here is aligned with the cuts in this thing. Otherwise the board won't go all the way down. So you just look at the other side. Everything's good. Oh, I forgot my start buttons. Just do that. Okay, so I put my start buttons back in. So now we can finish with the rest of the stuff, which is just L and R and these two side grips. So all you gotta do is, you'll see these holes right here and that end right there. Just align them up and put it in. It'll just go right into place. It's super easy. And then just click it in, make sure it's working. Same thing with the left. Super easy stuff. Now as for these guys, the hook will always go facing downward. Just put that in here. Super nice and easy. Super nice and easy. All done. Now take the shell, put it back together. Everything works. All right. So start with the Phillips. Okay. Put batteries back in, game in. Make sure sound's up, and turn on. Don't put the batteries in the wrong way. All right, let's do that again. And there you go, just a simple clean of the Game Boy Advance. Thanks for watching.